What I want to do is I want to allow you to your body to express at its higher potential of its innate potential. Are you with me? And then your body can cure everything from a friggin' hangnail to full-blown cancer. The whole objective is to raise your vibrations, remove interference to the expression. Today, I went to church. My church happens to be the Pacific Ocean. So a lot of times, you know what? One thing about surfing, the bad thing about surfing, it makes you late to a lot of stuff. So what I always go, well, it was at church. We had a really big service this morning. There was a lot of people there. You know, somebody in my family died. So you make them feel guilty a little bit, and they don't give you a hard time. But for me, that's where I get connected to God. Dr. Group is talking about meditation. That's my meditation. That's my exercise. That's where I ground myself. One of the other things is big on grounding. That's why I like to take my shoes off, even though I'm on this synthetic stage on synthetic carpet in a building and it loaded with EMF. I want you to get outside, and I want you to get outside and hug a tree. Lay in the sand. Go out in the ocean. It's the best form of grounding there is. Okay, so let me talk about sublux. 98% of children are subluxated at birth. I don't know if it's intentional, but it also puts a lot of pressure on the brainstem, which can cause a lot of things. Like I talked at the Autism Speaks event. Autism 1. I get all these events mentioned. Autism 1, right? That's the right one? Okay, come on. I'm having a senior moment right now, okay? The lion's mane's not kicking in yet, okay? But I talked about that we could lower the autism epidemic if we just checked kids, because again, that raises kids' resistance. And again, most people go to chiropractors and thinking, oh, I got this pinched nerve in my back and going down my leg, or it's in my neck and it's going down my arm. I got carpal tunnel and I got headaches and all this stuff. That's what they think chiropractic is about. And then once they feel better, what do? They quit. Like they stop brushing their teeth, okay? So my objective, what I want everybody to go home with, is that all the organs and glands, that's why, you know, there's about a 10% chance that you'll have pain if you have a subluxation in your spine. That's why I checked the spine, not only with radiographs, but with my hand, but also we use HRV, I'll get to that in a little bit, and thermography on your spine to find the hot spots and see where your nervous system's at. Because that's what really I feel like I am. I'm not a bone doctor, I'm a nervous system doctor. And we'll get into the science here in a little bit. All right, so you perceive your environment through your senses, right? Everybody's got that. But there's one sense that's not up there, and that happens to be proprioception. You also have an abundance of mechanoreceptors in your upper cervical spine, C1, C2. You also have a bunch in your sacroiliac joints and also a lot in your TMJ. So that's why it's important. And that's going to be what? That's going to be the nutrition for your brain. So your brain needs what? It needs oxygen. It needs water. It doesn't need statin drugs. Got that? Does everybody understand the scam of statins? Everybody knows that. Do not take statins. And again, I'm not saying that as a chiropractor. I'm saying that as a humanitarian, okay? But what chiropractic really does is it's food and nutrition for the brain, because as we age, what happens to our posture? It goes forward. What happens to our mobility? It lowers. And then what happens to the discs? They get compressed and degenerate. All that's preventable. Let's go forward one. There we go. When you have abnormal joint movement in the spine, that sends different spinal information to the brain and central nervous system. This causes dysfunctional processing and integration by the brain and central nervous system, poor control of the spine and body, leading to pain, dysfunction, and also what? Immune suppression. That's why you don't get cancer because of bad luck. You get cancer typically because of immune suppression. Everybody's creating 100 to 10,000 cancer cells a day. And if you got the nuclear frigging immune system like I do, I've been in practice 34 years. I've never missed one day of work for being sick because I don't get sick. I ain't afraid of no stinking bugs. Come on in, baby. You want a real flush shot? Give me a friggin' hug, sister. You know what I'm saying? You should dance with your environment and learn to interact with your environment. We've gotten so afraid of everything. What are we going to come up with a vaccine for every microbe that's out there? But that's what they want you to believe. Chiropractic improves health, sleep, stress, happiness, well-being, immune system, strength, life, and mobility. It decreases disease. Yeah, it decreases disease, illness, pain, aches, injuries, bad posture. People go to the beach, and I go, it's a beautiful day. Look at the ocean, the dolphins, the seagulls. They're just staring at their friggin' phone. And the thing is, when you do that, the part of the problem with people's posture is when they're working on a computer all day, their head and neck goes forward. I mean, we measure that on your x-rays. And the further forward your head goes, the more pressure it puts on the disc and causes the disc to degenerate and decay and become arthritic. And do people get shorter or taller when they get older? They get shorter because you've got successive levels of disc degeneration. Maybe 3 or 4 or 5 or 6, 7 levels degenerate. And then what happens to the mobility when we have degeneration of the disc? Because the discs are there for mobility, and that mobility is what feeds the brain, the health food. So this was the study that came out to show that chiropractic really is about taking people from sympathetic to parasympathetic. Chiropractic can also lower inflammatory markers. So all disease is increased in a pro-inflammatory state. That's why I always ask people, how many people in here take fish oil? Anybody in here take fish oil? Now, I think you should take hemp oil because hemp oil does the same thing, and plus it's a plant, okay? I don't like killing fish. Okay, but a lot of fish probably could be toxic. But hemp oil also has the big advantage of what? Killing cancer cells and preventing neural degeneration. It also enhances neurotrophic growth in your brain. It also helps with osteoporosis. It helps lowers anxiety. It helps you sleep. It balances your endocannabinoid system, which again pushes you from sympathetic into parasympathetic. And it really, truly even governs the nervous system. That's why I think it even supersedes the nervous system. So it's super important, in my opinion, to load up on CBD or all the other cannabinoids in there. That's the problem. We think it's just one molecule, but it's the entire plant that has the entourage effect. I'm going to get to that in a little bit, okay? That's why medicine always drops the ball, because they think, well, it's just the CBD molecule, and I'm going to make a synthetic version of it and think it's going to do the same thing. No, God put the plant together in its perfect harmony. He didn't make any mistakes.